bombs beneath my tires, miles slipping by, dust on my boots, aching my spine. The radio's static, the signal's long gone, but I'm chasing the place where I've always belonged. Every turn feels like a memory calling, every mile of distance keeps falling. I've been gone too long, carried by the wind. Now I'm counting the steps till I'm back again. Coming home, where the air feels right. The porch light glows in the dead of night. No metaphors, just the truth I know. It's the door, the walls, the life I chose. Coming home, it's no grand design. Just my chair, my bed, my peace of mind. The town looks smaller than it did before. Faded paint on the gas station door. I see the cracks in the sidewalk I'd roam, each one a story that's pulling me home. The faces I'll see, they're waiting there still. Time moves slow on that old hill. I've carried their voices wherever I've been. Now I'm close enough to hear them coming home, where the air feels right. The porch light glows in the dead of night. No metaphors, just the truth I know. It's the door, the walls, the life I chose. Coming home, it's no grand design. Just my chair, my bed, my peace of mind. I've slept in strange towns under cold gray skies, felt the weight of goodbyes in my eyes. But there's a quiet here I can't replace, a corner of the world that knows my face. Coming home, where the air feels right. The porch light glows in the dead of night. No metaphors, just the truth I know. It's the door, the walls, the life I chose. Coming home, it's no grand design. Just my chair, my bed, my peace of mind. The key still fits, the lock still turns. The fire's out, but the heart still burns. I'm here now, no need to roam. I'm not lost anymore, I'm home.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, my friend, how you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. What's shaking?
Same old stuff.
Same old stuff.
Same
Looks
old
like chat is lively tonight. You guys are showing up. Thank you. For being
They
here.
are. They're showing up. They're showing out. I. How can you ever not be impressed with people? They're awesome.
Right?
They are awesome.
I know. Let me just rattle through. Farm Dog, hello. Frostbite Coins, hello. Mark, good to
Frost,
see you.
I apologize for this morning.
Uh-oh.
No, it's like he was on his stream and I was there checking in and it's like he said something to me and then first I called him Chuck, which he's not Chuck.
Nope,
And
not
I
Chuck.
called him Eric and he's not Eric either.
Not Eric.
So it was like I felt bad, but either way.
It's all right. It sucks getting old.
Yeah, you're finding out, aren't you?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. M Love Mo, good to see you. Yo, fan. Hello, Jack Riley, Eric. Paula's here. Hello, Paula. Sunnyhead. Yo.
I'll add to you, Ivan. She's always
Casey
working.
Coin Guy, good to see you. All these familiar names. You guys are awesome. Jack Young, hello, hello. Coins and Ghouls, hi. Hi, hi, hi.
A lot of people tonight.
Joe Bohannon, good to see you, Joe.
You think we've been starving them for?
Well, it was mostly my fault. I mean, I got the crud again, and I'm sure you guys did not want to hear me sniffling and hacking the whole night away last week. So we had to postpone it a week. I am here. I can speak. I can breathe. I can not cough my brains out for you. So there we go.
James, my thoughts exactly. Getting old is absolutely better than the alternative.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like something an old person would say.
I have said it a lot, as you've heard it from me. So, all right, we'll get off that boat. But anyways, so no, I'm looking so forward to going to Baltimore.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm excited. Like I already know that Whitman is going to do awesome. Those guys rock. They
hook us up. It's like the only thing that becomes a little scary about it is it's like, okay, here you got all this stuff. Go ahead. What are you going to do?
Right.
And then we have to put out. So
we'll figure it out. They love what we do. They have been impressed with everything so far. So I have no problem.
Yes, we should be. We have been killing it.
I have no problem thinking they're going to love what we do again, and you guys are going to love what we do. We have some cool stuff already lined up.
Yes, I've got some lined up that some you wouldn't expect.
Oh, I know, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And then there's some other stuff that might just spontaneously happen. I know that they are releasing the new Red Book there. They're going to have a limited release.
More about that in the news tonight because the Red Book is all new.
Yeah, and flipping through the Red Book, you might see some familiar faces, actually. Don't know.
Makes a cameo.
I don't know.
Honestly, you weren't even aware until they showed you the proof of the book.
Right. Yeah.
So who caught it? Who was the one that caught it?
Billy B, I believe. She said, you're in the Red Book, right? And I said, what do you mean? She said, yeah, there's a picture of you in the Red Book. What? Where? So whatever. We'll see. I haven't seen it yet. Hey, Sunnyhead, thank you. That 18/17 was a neat coin that came across my desk. I just like showing you guys that stuff. Like when something neat comes across my desk, I just want to show you guys because I get to see all sorts of fun, cool stuff, and you guys might not necessarily get to see all that, that kind of cool stuff all the time. And I just like to show you guys. It's been a little slow because we have been remodeling. We are just about done. The last month has been a whirlwind because basically you take everything that and you throw it up in the air and then you catch it in a bunch of different boxes and then you move those boxes to one side of the building and then you move those boxes to the other side of the building and then you try to find stuff. And that's kind of where I'm at right now is trying to find stuff.
Well, hopefully at some point it all gets distributed to where it should be.
It will.
It will eventually be, but we're not there yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
No. And trying to be open at the same time. Like today, I was trying to find stickers for coins. I don't know where the heck my stickers went. I have thousands of stickers. I have a case of stickers. Couldn't tell you where it was at. It's on a shelf somewhere, but maybe that shelf I can't get to at the moment. Or maybe it's under other stuff that I don't know where it's at. So
it's not shelving right now. That's all.
No, it's shelving. It's just extra shelving. Like it's shelved so hard that I can't find it. So that's been my problem lately is just the little things that get frustrating. But other than that, everything's awesome. The new store is great, or the new showroom is great. The new cases are awesome. The floor.
Well, yeah. Who would like to double their square footage? It's
it's got fun.
And to tell you that, so your new store is coming along. My new studio is coming along, and I should be moving into it by the middle of next month.
So what you're saying is the background behind you is going to change?
It's going to change.
Are you going to make it custom yourself and make it awesome?
Well, here's the thing is now I actually have a room that's going to be dedicated to this. If you only knew.
I'm jealous.
Where I was right now. I mean, it's like I am crammed into this tiny little space in my basement where I am facing literally a wall between two rooms. and the shelves behind me are in front of the closet that has my water heater and stuff like that. I mean, it's like it's so facade. It's just not even the way it is, but it's okay because it's what it looks like. So when I move, it's like yes, I'll still have the library, but yes, full of his creepy Santa collection. No, I don't have a collection. That actually belongs to my wife.
So it's full of your wife's creepy Santa collection.
Something like that. Yeah. So that's this room right over here.
Oh,
So anyway, we're gonna be able to do whatever we want. I don't think I'm gonna do a whole lot. I think I will definitely have some different stuff in the background. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with like I have that poster of the periodic table.
yeah, there you go.
That was kind of cool. I might have a chart of the ancient Roman emperors,
Ooh,
because there's a family tree.
sure, those are cool. I've
Which-
seen those.
Yeah, so stuff like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but it's gonna be mine.
Ah.
And it's gonna be my space and free. And
So you should totally just put a lock on the door, like just because. I know that's a good idea, isn't it?
I'll lock on that door before I get in there. So I ain't saying nothing.
That's right. Yes, and like 12 Taylor Swift posters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm total Swift.
Yeah, Mike's a Swiftie. You didn't know that?
Oh God, who doesn't?
Oh
know?
my gosh. Well, you ready to fire this off? We got a big news segment. We got your coolest thing coming. It's gonna be a heck of a show tonight.
Now, speaking of your coolest thing, right? This is not our coolest thing.
No.
Was I able to show on the show the 55 over 55?
The 55 double day?
Yeah.
I don't remember one, but I know I've had one.
Okay. So there's one that came in,
Uh-huh.
and I am now faced with a dilemma. It's a really nice coin,
Mhm.
and it's in my budget. Yeah.
You ever owned one?
Oh,
Ooh.
no.
Well, you just finished your collection of
Oh, yeah.
Canadian, right?
I've still got 2 more and 4 if I do it right.
Okay.
There's
But those
2
are all-
two that I want to upgrade
Okay.
because I don't think they're worthy. But the one book is complete and it's nice.
Well, chat says buy it, so I think you have to buy it.
There's no question about it. I have to buy this coin. There's no question about it. But this is like my yearly coin budget. But it's just when you see something that moves you, that you look at and go, no, I gotta have that.
Yep.
You should buy that. That's the
They're
kind of
not-
stuff you put in your collection.
They're not making any more of them, except maybe in China, and
And I would one of those anyway.
they're not getting any cheaper. So I think
Oh.
that there's 2. If there's an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other, I think you should let the devil win. Where he's like, buy it.
Well, so I've never owned an 09 SVDB either. Now I've owned a 14D, I've owned a 31S, I've owned 22 no D in a really high grade.
Right.
So this is, I want to say it's AU. It's off for grading right now. So it's either XF AU.
Love it.
Yeah. So it's really, really nice.
I'm not going to tell you what to buy it, but you should totally just
Oh, I did.
go
Trust
with
me,
your
I
buy
have
it.
advice on this because I'm buying it.
Yeah, I was going to say you should just totally go with your buy it and buy it.
Oh yeah, there's no question about it. I just have to get it. It's just, oh man.
Sweet talk sweetie about it. You got to sweet talk sweetie and say sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I do. And of course she doesn't know yet.
Ooh, was she watching? She might know now.
No, not yet.
Okay,
She'll watch later.
there you go. I wish I could tell my wife stuff with this show.
I'll just bury this show. She won't see.
Oh, let's watch something else tonight. Law and Order.
Singers on.
So the show starts at like 20 minutes, so you're good. Let's just skip to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Speaking of which, you ready to-
It's the official podcast version. That's the thing.
oh, she does. She gets the edited version.
Yeah.
Oh well, there you go. Speaking of which, let me get the news ready here. I think I'm ready.
Think you are?
Maybe.
I had a thought.
Oh. Well, sir, whenever you're ready, we can just fire this sucker off. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us early. Pause just for a second. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up or the heart button or the thumbs down button if you want. I don't care, but just react somehow, please, real fast. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And
We appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for showing up, and thanks for making these shows, because like you guys make it really just as much as we do.
I agree completely. All right, buddy. You ready?
1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get that out of there. This is, let's see, episode 244. Yeah. Wow. All right. Ready?
Fire it off.
It is episode 244 of the Coin Show podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And tonight on our show, we have some discussion about some of the stuff that's going on in the world of coins.
Uh-huh.
We are going to look at your coolest thing, as well as maybe talk about a couple of the cool things that we've seen.
Okay.
But first, as always, the news.
Who is it?
The long stream just keeps on going. It's the line continues. This episode of the Coin Show podcast is brought to you by loopholes. Simultaneously, the greatest thing and the worst thing about our tax laws, everyone's dream and everyone's nightmares were loopholes.
That was a good one. I like that.
So in the news of coins, we have coin.
Wow. What you all right there?
Yeah, of course. We have coins. So the United States Mint has produced 5.8 or 581.6 million coins for circulation. And
it's February
number, right? This is the February number that everybody said, no more cents. The cents going away. The pennies. Guess what?
They still make them.
They made another 353 million of them last month.
Be interesting to see what this month brings, and next month especially.
Yes, going forward, because look, it wasn't really a policy recommendation until towards the end of February. So now we'll see how many more they make. But the fact of the matter is that there are currently 595 million of them out there in circulation. So we may not need any more.
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be some giant shortage of cents. They're everywhere. And they're, people might start having to dig them out of change jars, but they're everywhere.
They're not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, that doesn't mean that, it won't be. And this is not saying that it's not a meritorious argument to get rid of it, but they're just not going anywhere anytime soon. It's like a lot of this change is going to come kind of slow, as it always does with the U.S.
Yep, I agree.
And with that, Silver Eagles have now gone on sale. So the proof Silver Eagles have already been launched. And it's like they already sold 238,000.
This is different than they've done the last few years. Like usually they drag these out till the middle to the end of the year. Well, at least in the past. I can't say about the last couple of years.
Actually, the last 3 years since the pandemic, they put these out very early in the year. Now, what they were doing in 18 and 19 was we're introducing one in the early year from like San Francisco and making it a really low mintage, and then bringing out the W Mint later in the year.
Right.
So
okay. Well, there you go.
They're only making one, they're only making one mint mark lately.
Right. I guess I'm just used to traditionally seeing them like in November back for the last 20 years.
That was the thing, it's like them and the proof sets. But it got to the point where, you have to make them. And if you make them late in the year, now you have to guess how many you're going to sell. And the Mint, I think, was just ending up with, just thousands of them left over.
Right.
That couldn't sell. What are you going to do with them? Well, let's launch them a little earlier in the year. And
I'm
I
trying
just,
to see if we could see the number of last year's Proof Silver Eagles on this list here, but I don't see them anywhere yet. So
last year's Proof Silver Eagle, the S Mint was 120,792.
and the W Mint, do we know?
I don't see a number for that.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. I mean, obviously they've been declining over the last several years. So I was just curious if that trend was continuing.
It's because the price of them is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, and they're making multiples, just different mint marks, and I mean,
I seriously, do we really need to have another Dear US Mint?
maybe.
I mean, why is it that particularly for silver coins, something that we know is not going to jump 50, why do you have to charge 4 times the melt value?
Hey, maybe we can do a Dear US Mint and send it right to the mint director.
Well, maybe
That would
next
be a
time
thing.
we're on, or next time we talk to her. It looks like she's not going anywhere, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've noticed that as well. So good job.
And with that, the US proof set has also been launched. So this has sales of 211,757 already.
And that's the 2025, just the clad set, right?
That is just a clad set. Now, that's about half of what the mintage is going to end up being.
Right.
And I will tell you that a lot of this, in my opinion, has always been dealers and stuff like that stocking up.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's right in line too. If you look at some of they do have the historical chart of the proof sets here. So I mean, it looks like it's kind of still in line with that declining sales.
Yep.
That declining sales number. I mean, it's more than last year's debut, but it's less than the year before. So it's kind of right in line there. So that's not anything insane.
Yeah, it appears that there was a bump with the women on quarters.
Yep.
But it's over this year. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there will definitely be.
Aren't we getting like sports on quarters or something? Kids sports?
Well, yeah, that's coming in 27. But you can actually write this one down. I predict that there will be a very large mintage of coins for next year.
That would not surprise me a bit. They might even start. They might even have already started.
They may have. They may have had to. Yeah. But while we're still in 2025 and we're still on the good quarters, I want to tell you that the United States Mint has also started shipping the 2025 Juliette Gordon low quarters. So that's the second one this year.
Okay.
Out of 5. Juliette Gordon Low is founder of the Girl Scouts, now part of Scouting USA, I think is what it is.
Okay, I gotta stop for a second. This is the first time I've actually looked at this quarter a lot. Why does this quarter look like Robin Williams in a dress? I'm sorry.
He has a very Mrs. Doubtfire look.
Right.
If you ask me with the emblem on it, it almost looks like a leprechaun. Can we get in any more trouble?
Maybe.
Let's see what the chat says about that one. But yes, no, I agree with you. It's kind of uninspired. These quarters from this year, it's like Ida B. Wells looks like a bus token. This one doesn't look much better.
And I swear, if I have to hear about another In COD We Trust quarter, I'm going to drown myself.
Trust me, that obverse is not going anywhere. They just said they're going to keep that.
Well, could they at least put like a little line there, just so that the crazies quit calling me?
Nope. Well, look, would you rather have them calling you about that or 1982 pennies?
Neither.
Just ask it.
Yeah. Right.
And with the new quarters coming out, the designs for next year's innovation dollars are coming out, and the CCAC is voting on it. So Wisconsin, their innovation was the Cray 1 supercomputer.
Is that like Skynet?
Well, it's Cray. I know that.
Cray.
No, there's only
one Cray.
Only one Cray. Only one Cray.
Wow.
And if you go to the next one, we'll look at Minnesota, which I think here's the thing that I think is funny is Minnesota is going to talk about mobile refrigeration.
Sure.
My question to you is, did Minnesota innovate and invent mobile refrigeration, or did Winter invent it for them? That's my question.
I mean, if it's winter and you just leave the door open, isn't that mobile refrigeration?
It was mobile. They had to get it from place to place. It was cold outside. I don't think I used to work in a warehouse. I don't really think it had a lot to do with it.
That's funny.
But yeah, so mobile refrigeration is what's going to be featured on the Minnesota.
I
I
mean,
guess it's just Midwestern boys taking pot shots, right? We're just taking pot shots at our neighbors.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how we roll, right? Because everybody hates Ohio. I mean, we all know that, but
Everybody but Fuzzy.
that's true.
Yeah. All right. So going to a place that we don't really hate, Ukraine has issued a silver coin. I'm not even going to try and pronounce what kind of
Armenia?
there you go. This one is urging their countrymen to hold the line. And I thought about this. I was like, what would be really cool is if we and our listeners could go to their website. So go to the next slide. I couldn't find it on their website because I don't. It's thrilling.
Well, a lot of these websites have a place where you can switch it to English, but hold on, let me see here.
Google Translate will do that for you.
Well, sure, I know, but a lot of the international websites have a place that you just hit a button and it automatically does it through their website, which makes navigating them a lot easier. But I surely do not see it.
The translate feature on Google Chrome is wonderful, but I
agree.
Do not see the coin.
I agree. Well, shoot. Hey, Ukrainian men, there you go. That's something you can add.
Look, they're a little busy right now.
Well, that's a good point. Fairly accurate point. Sure.
Not going to criticize right now.
No.
Moving on to America's Hat, they are doing America's Hat things.
Yep.
They're showing coins with animals on them. This is
animal cell, man.
Gold-plated background.
Those designs are pretty cool. I'm not.
Designs are cool, but it's look, polar bears, and caribou, and wolves.
Man, that ear. It's just every time it gets me. Golly. Every time. I'm sorry I mention it all the time, but man, it's just like oh sweet, there's a cool polar bear ear. Like every time.
And he's gold-plated. Notice that.
Yeah.
The animals are silver with the backgrounds, but he's gold-plated.
Yeah, right.
Oh, to be king. Now, in coin news of celebrating something I'm not really, what? How did I put it when I wrote this? Coin celebrating an event that could be described in no other way than tragic.
Yeah.
So it's like this is the John Lennon coin. I like the design. I think it's cool. It's I was there. I wasn't in New York, but I mean, I was around during that time. John Lennon was a hero of mine, and it was senseless.
Yeah.
This would have been his 85th birthday this year. Great human being, not necessarily, but I mean, just prolific songwriter.
Sure.
And thinker.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, I find it interesting that the image is courtesy of Yoko Ono Lennon. Like she's still involved with that estate and everything. So, interesting.
Dennis Leary, he goes after Yoko Ono. It's just you can look that one up. Heritage had a sale that found new homes for some really, really awesome coins.
The first one up's a toughie. The 1796 quarter and MS61. That's a heck of a coin.
Well, and the beat goes on. I mean, if you look at some of the stuff that sold here, it was like there was a 68 proof 68 red and brown 1885 Indian head set. There was proof 66 from 1862. There's a 1916 Liberty Standing Liberty in 66.
Nice coin. It's for sale right now. It's still for sale.
I see. There's an image down here of a 95 Philly, which means a proof.
Here it is. Let's see what this coin is at right now. 62,500 currently.
Well, that's actually not real expensive for one of those.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
No, that's far from over. And then there's a 29 Double Eagle. There is a 1795 half time,
Ooh, that's a cool looking coin. Look at this thing.
1915 Eagle.
Hold on. I'm still stuck on the last one.
What, the proof?
The halftime.
Oh,
The MS63 CAC.
Yeah.
That's a cool little coin. Shame it's a halftime, but
CAC too.
yeah, very cool. 1915 proof Eagle.
Proof Eagle.
This is one of those sandblasted proofs.
Yeah, you can tell just by looking at it. It's, oh God, it's so pretty.
It's a cool coin.
And there's
Very
1912 and proof 66. So, anyways, yeah. And an 1881 double eagle in 53.
Wow. Yeah, and then this is this all stuff that's selling where? Baltimore?
Let's see. This is
Faster?
April 3rd through 6th U.S. coins auction at Heritage.
So all of these coins will probably be on display or available to look at in Baltimore while we're there. So
Well, we should go shopping.
maybe we should. Maybe we can,
Maybe we
Maybe
could
if,
follow a couple.
yeah, maybe we can get a little tour of the show room for these things. To show. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. So this year's QDB award, the Q David Bowers Award at the Central States Numismatic show, will be given to Jeff Garrett. And it's like, what more can you say? I mean, this guy, he deserves every award. I mean, he's out there. He's the face of numismatics right now. He's contributing to the Red Book. He is trying to change, a lot of the things. What's he?
He is a force of nature in the industry.
But I mean, I don't want to say he's a disruptor because he's not. He is like the most easygoing person you've ever met.
Right. Oh yeah.
But I mean, he is truly on the collector's side, and he's a guy that's out there advocating for people. That's what I wanted to say.
There you go. That's a very good way to put it.
Yes. And he is now the man behind the curtain at the all new Red Book. So this is a preview, and we're going to see in Baltimore this brand new Red Book.
I've been told I get to play with one. I'm told I will be handed one of the new Red Books and be able to enjoy it at the show and take some pictures and share it to social. So we will have access to them.
Yeah. So there will be a picture of Matt somewhere around here.
I don't know about that.
There will.
We might just skip that part.
To it. And this new Red Book will give us an expanded section on fractional California gold. This is one of the things that Jeff has brought to the Red Book.
I mean, again, I can't think of anybody else that will do it better. But yeah, they're doing a California fractional gold section, which is cool. But there's a lot of those stinking things out there. I mean, there's a ton of them, thousands and thousands of different ones. So
I'll tell you what, they still confuse me.
Well, if you ever get a chance, go to PCGS and get in their Coin Fact and run through all the listings they have for California fractional gold. I think there's over 2,000 different ones, but of the BG numbers.
That's why it's just a matter of learning them.
Yeah, of the BG numbers, I think they go into the 2,000s. I could be wrong; it could be high 1,000s, but it's a ton. So, very interesting pieces. Just very, very complicated. So, there you go.
And there is now a new game with new prizes.
Oh boy!
Certified ancient coins offered as prizes for this mobile game. This one is called 8th Era. Wasn't this the same game? I know it's the same people.
I don't.
Nice gang. And it's a project of Mark Salzberg's.
I mean, I get what they're going for, but I just don't think it's going to translate again. Like, I get that they're going for like trying to teach kids history with a video game, but that's, without actually diving a little deeper into the history and not just like calling your guy Alexander, that's not going to get you anywhere. So
here's what I'll tell you. And I know this.
At 10,000 years in the future, 8th Era takes players on an epic role-playing adventures through perilous past worlds to collect forgotten pieces of history and save the future from an evil supercomputer. Yeah, that's nothing.
Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is this, because this has been my experience throughout life. If you stick with conventional wisdom, you'll get the conventional results. And I will at least take my hat off to Mark as he tries a different avenue at different people with a different way.
You
So-
show me data that translates this video game to kids getting interested in history and or coins, and I will concede my point.
Look, I'm not even saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is that he's trying something different.
Got it.
And if he doesn't do it well, maybe the next person that does will.
Yeah.
Think
Or
about those poor guys that did podcasts on coins before we started.
yeah,
They gave up, right?
we should have. We're just gluttons for punishment.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Ooh, oh boy, that's funny. Sorry.
And finally, in the news. So, Timothy Chen has received the PNG's 2025 ANA Summer Seminar Scholarship, and this is really cool. It's great. It's an all expenses paid trip for him. He's going to get his tuition. He's going to get his room and board. He's going to get all that stuff, and this is wonderful. This is absolutely fantastic. This is where I'm going to take the story from what you expect to what you don't.
Okay.
There is still a scholarship out there for from Upstate Coin and Gold, completely unclaimed.
Really?
Nobody has applied for it. There
Is
is
it a YN scholarship?
it is a scholarship. All you have to do is look up Upstate Coin and Gold scholarship, and it'll have all the information on it.
Well, if any of our interested listeners are listening and want to go apply for it, I think
That's what I'm saying. It's like nobody has applied for it, so it remains vacant. So your odds of getting it have got to be pretty decent.
hey, if you're the only raffle ticket in the can, then
Well,
you go.
that is probably not a surprise. Anyways,
Yeah.
so that said, you have this one, and there's an internship that we offer at Harlan Burke, completely unclaimed.
Are they for YNs or are they for just anybody?
Well, the Harlan Burke one is for YNs. We're offering a paid internship.
Oh, that's a whole different thing.
I know.
Ooh.
Completely paid. We're gonna teach you, and then we're gonna send you off with our stamp on your back.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's like, to me, it just is. I don't know what gives this year where people have they forgotten about this stuff? Are they coming out of their post-pandemic, haze and going, wow, it's nice outside. I think, and just getting completely distracted. I don't know. But what I do know is that there are a lot of people out there that offer help to people and put them in these scholarships and get them to a summer seminar. They get them to, all kinds of different opportunities. And there's a lot of them out there that aren't even being utilized at this point.
It looks like Chad is saying that the Upstate Gold Scholarship is only for YNs. So if they have any YNs listening, get on over there to Upstate.
Yeah, or if you know a YN.
Yeah. Awesome.
Might be what you can do. And while I was researching my news, I have a little trivia question.
Oh boy.
And for the chat. So, can you tell me what Morgan Dollar Dayton Mint Mark has been certified more than any other?
Yes, probably. It's between a couple for me.
Well, it was scientifically done, and there is a definitive answer.
I have a guess. I'll let the chat weigh in. I have a guess. And I think I agree with chat. Or at least the first couple there.
Well, first couple was the same guy.
Oh, well, I think I agree with Jack.
Yeah. That would make you 100% correct.
Yeah, 1881s. For some reason, there's just so many of them.
Look so good.
Yeah,
It's because they look so good. So it's like people look at those. Oh, this is 5.
79s, 80s, 81s. Like those are, if you need just a type example of a Morgan, those are your dates because they come PL. They're struck a ton. They're just really great examples. So
you could buy like a 64 and 80s for like $40.
Yeah, and
64 ADS is a really nice looking coin.
Most of the time, they're actually hard to get proof likes and dimples in because they come proof like already. So
that's what I'm saying at first is like you look at the DS and you go, "This got a 5."
And people always ask,
"No, it doesn't."
People always ask the question. They're like, "Well, why don't they grade all the coins the same?" Well, you can't grade an 81S the same way you grade like a 96O or a one of those later New Orleans dates. That's just pancakes.
Yeah, it's not a contest to see which one is struck the best. It is a grade as to how it stacks up against the other coins in that date mint mark.
Right. So that's exactly why a lot of those coins are not graded on the same standard, even though they are the same coin. Just different conditions of mintage can cause grade discrepancies.
It's what the average coin looks like that determines what the average grade is going to be.
Yep. There you go.
That was the news. And the news tonight was brought to us by Loopholes. Simultaneously, the greatest thing and the worst thing about our tax laws, everyone's dream and everyone's nightmare. They're loopholes.
Oh, that was a fun news segment. That'll chop up nicely.
That was a marathon.
Oh, that was good. I liked it.
Well, thanks. I mean, I've taken a little bit different approach to my news lately and just tried to, highlight some stuff and just kind of move on. Don't really dwell on things too long.
Well, I mean, and that's okay. We don't want to get because you and me, we'll go off on a tangent every once in a while about something, and I enjoy it.
And Jack Young says 81cc if you count counterfeits.
Check in with the chat and see everybody's here, round and shiny. Hi, you didn't miss much. You missed the news, but that's okay because we're still here hanging out now.
Yep.
Thomas Tucker, hello, 1881S. Yes, you do. That's one of those dates. Like I said, it's if you need a nice Morgan, 79S to 81S, those are your dates. That's where all the nice ones live. I mean, obviously there are others that are nice, but that's where, like, if you look at the amount of 68s that are graded, they're almost all those 3 dates, which is crazy, but just is what it is. Those coins some nice. So
joining us from the continent. Well, he's not actually on the continent. He's off the continent, but
yeah.
Taffy Coins.
Taffy, hello. Good to see you.
You, Kyle.
See, if you guys have any questions, feel free to fire them off. We're just kind of sitting here chit-chatting right now. So
are any of you going to be in Baltimore?
Oh, yeah. True. Good point. I know that I've talked to several people that are coming and want to meet. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. And if you want to watch us kind of hang out and talk to some people, this time we're going to have a YN, a young up and coming YN.
Ooh.
Yes. We're going to have, let's see. John Kralovich is going to come by and he's going to talk about something different than what he talked about last time. Last time it was more about, his move to Stax Bowers. I want to just hear whatever John wants to talk about.
Yes.
He can talk about.
Man, that no matter what he has to say, it's going to be interesting, and I want to hear it. So
he can talk about what he had for breakfast this morning, and the man will make it interesting. I'm telling you. So.
Did you see this? What Taffy just said? I saw that not too long ago. That the Royal Mint is no longer striking coins for other countries, which is crazy because they strike a lot of coins for a lot of other countries.
Well, okay, so here's the question: is if you're in the Commonwealth, is that considered another country?
Ooh,
because that's like half the world.
Yeah, that's true. Don't know. Maybe Taffy can answer that one. Here's one.
Stopping in.
So Ventress retirement was just a rumor. It wasn't a rumor. It was one of those like she figured she was going to be retired, I think, and not necessarily like ready to retire.
I think it was more like a Casey Stengel kind of retirement.
Yeah. Yeah. And Round and Shiny asks, is it worth a 3-hour drive? If you want to go to a nice big coin show, the spring show is not the biggest of the Baltimore shows. The summer show is the biggest, but the spring show is still nice. I enjoy it tremendously. And it's good.
It's
It's a
a
good
fairly big show. There is going to be a lot of big names there. There is going to be a lot of really cool things to see, including the new Red Book and stuff like that. I think it's where, it really depends on how stacked your schedule is and whether you can spend the 3-hour drive going. I think major shows are always worth the drive.
Heck yeah. I'm going to pull up a map of the show floor. If you give me just a second. There it is.
Okay.
And I will share.
Sunhead says, Sheriff Flax, I recently bought a 3-legged buffalo. It's at PCGS right now getting graded. That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
3-legged buffaloes are so much fun.
All right, here's the show plan, the floor plan for this show. So you can see that it's not the biggest show they do, but it's still, there's 150 tables, 200 tables.
I'm going to use all 3 rooms, though.
Yeah, we are going to be right here at the bottom.
Down here?
Yep, right down there where we were before, right next to the Whitman Brands table. And then my table is right over here. It's 929, right about there. So that's where our coins and stuff will be.
So we can keep an eye on them.
Yep. But yeah, Mike and I will be here probably about 85% of the time, either recording or editing or
talking.
You might walk around and make videos. I got a couple ideas of some stuff I want to do. Some of the things I want to do this year would be to not crash my drone into a Boy Scout, because that would suck. I almost did that last year or last time, and
it's not a good idea.
Yeah. I have, I've wanted to go to the Pan Show. They used to have the Pan Show in Monroeville, which that convention center was cool. I don't know where it's at now. Is it downtown? But it's, I've always heard it's a good show, so I've wanted to go. I just kind of can't. I got a lot going on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know.
So Adam is starting trouble. Adam is starting trouble.
Yeah. Do you think Fort Knox is empty?
No, there's people in there. There's all kinds of people there.
IOUs. Oh, it's still in Monroeville. Okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah, it's just easier to say Pittsburgh.
Trying to think what other fun stuff we have planned in Baltimore. Do you have any? Do you guys want us to talk to anybody? Let's look at the list. You know what? I just had another idea. Look at me. I've got ideas left and right. I've got ideas left and right tonight. Because we did have the floor plan up, but you know what we're going to get up next? The list of dealers attending. Let's just see dealer list.
This might be a draw for you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just present that on the thing with.
Oh, and did you see the news that the Coin Week? No, is it Coin Week podcast or Coin World podcast?
Coin World, I think.
Yeah, I think Coin World podcast is back with Jeff Stark and.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and
I like those guys.
Yeah, so. See, and we're always promoting good sources of information. That's what it's all about.
You ain't kidding. So let's just run through some of these lists here. If you guys see anybody you want us to go talk to, we're going to be there with these people. So is there any dealer you want us to hear from or just go make a little video with, we can always walk up and ask them. They're all there.
Yeah, hopefully they're too busy to do it.
Well, that's true. Hopefully we walk up and they're like, nope, too busy. Oh, I did notice one thing. CAC, I believe, I don't know if it's this show. They might be doing on-site grading. I think I read that.
Coin Collector podcast. So it's with Numismatic News now.
Oh, okay. Let me see where I saw this. I know I saw some
for crossovers.
Sorry.
So I will tell you that my opinion on that is this is strategic business at work. $10 crossovers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but I think they're doing stickering and grading on site, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I think I read that.
I'm going to be bringing some really cool currency.
Ooh, fun.
I've got one for a customer that I have to have graded. It's $1,000 star note.
That's a cool note. Yeah, it'd be fun to look at that before you send it.
Really, really nice. So I figured I'd walk it over to the grading company and save myself the trouble.
That's the truth. That's the way to do it. Hey, look, my brother-in-law will be there. Collect Indy. My sister and brother-in-law will be there, which means we have to go eat seafood. I mean, but like Dempsey Baxter, Delaware Valley, David Lawrence is there.
Because I was there.
Dave Kahn. I mean, Educational Coin Company, Elizabeth Coggin. I mean, this is all the heavy hitters. Gus Tizo, he does silver dollars. FRN, he's out of Colorado. Flower Hill.
Gus Tizo.
What's that?
I have never met Gus Tizo.
Oh, we can walk over and meet him. He's a nice guy. Harlan J. Burke Ancients is going to be there.
Yes.
Yeah, Hips Rare Coin, History on Paper, Hughes Numismatics. I mean, this is just like, this is. I like how they have Stax Bowers with John. Like that's interesting that they listed it that way.
Yes, with John Crowley. Well, it's like he's special guest star.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, since this is, I'm efforting to get somebody that we've had on the show before back.
Who would that be? John? I mean, we have John, but
yes. No, I'm talking about somebody who hasn't been on our show in a long time.
Oh. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So I'm working on it. Don't want to put the name out there until I have a reply. But yeah, I think that everybody would enjoy this person.
Nice. Well, as you can see, there's a big list of everybody that's going to be there. It's pretty much a who's who of anybody that's in the coin collecting industry, all the big companies. That's the deal. So there you go.
So let's see. Here we go. Jack Young. Gibson retires from mint director's position by Paul Gilkis. Has elected to retire from government service and will leave her position.
Well, there you go.
I cannot be sadder about that because she was a really, really good mint director.
Yep, I agree.
And it's not just because she talked to us.
No,
it was the fact that she was accountable, she was smart, and for somebody who fixed a lot of really hair on fire problems,
she fixed the website. I mean, like
nobody gets any credit for doing anything.
Yeah, her and her team pretty much got the website fixed. They pretty much got rid of the flippers.
It was the greatest thing. It's like I went and I saw her for the first time since we had interviewed her the first time. And I walked over to her and I was talking to her a little bit, and I told her, I said, some of our listeners were giving me so much grief about asking, the direct question about what's going on with the website. And she just looked at me and she goes, but I fixed it, didn't I? I'm like, yeah, you did.
Here's one to talk about right here lately. I don't know how much, if you guys have been having any issues, but man, we've been having some huge problems with the USPS.
There are problems with the USPS. Canada Post was on strike for quite a while. I don't even know if they're back to work yet. And UPS has problems from time.
We have this hub they basically combined southern Indiana and central Indiana into one hub on the east side of Indianapolis, and it is terrible. There's videos out on the internet of just the place being full to the ceiling with stuff and just nothing moving anywhere. So it's been bad. I've had to refund like probably a dozen orders just because stuff sits there for 20 days before it starts moving again.
Yeah, and the worst part is then it gets delivered.
Yeah, then they get it later.
Right. And then you're really at the mercy of very, very often good people that still pay you for what they got.
I just got an email today from a guy that got a package that took 21 days that I refunded him for 10 days ago. And he said, okay, well, how do I pay you now? So
yeah, good people.
It wasn't very much, so I'm probably just going to let him keep it, but
that's nice.
Yeah. But,
good
it's just one of those things.
Yeah, the black hole of USPS is Memphis. Well, it's
also right behind them.
FedEx.
Right behind them, I promise. It's been rough.
Also, the FedEx black hole is in Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah, let me get over to the super coolest thing of theirs. Get that pulled up here while you just kind of hang out for a second.
Yeah, I'm going to let you read through them tonight.
You're going to let me do it?
I'm going to let you read through them because it's just too hard to find it and get to it.
I'm there, bro. I am there.
You're all over it, and that's the thing. By the time I got there, you'd be halfway through it.
Let me just make sure it's not. I think they showed up. We had 49 comments, so I shut it down a little early just so we can get a kind of a grip on it.
One last comment on the shipping thing. So M Love Mo says, "Yep, lots of problems with USPS. I've sold hundreds of my Korean coin books and shipped them, no problem. Last year, I sold around 50 coins and 4 went missing. Lesson: thieves don't read books." It's like, I disagree. They're not.
All right. Well, you wanna throw us to that segment? I will get it ready. It's ready to rock on my end. So
I'm going to throw it. We have a drop for that, but
no, we have a drop for you and I. We don't have a drop for
yeah,
theirs.
you're right. You're right. So now has come the time for one of our favorite parts, but I absolutely have to think that the listeners enjoy this part as well. It is time to look at your coolest things. And Matt, a lot of entries this week.
Yeah, we had I think 49 posts. So
Wow.
we're right at about 50. You guys showing off your new stuff, and I shut it down early just because we were supposed to actually do this show a week ago, and illness got in the way. So here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull this right on up here. You guys can get a look at it. There it is, your coolest thing.
And you can find your coolest thing in the Friends of the Coin Show group. So if you are not currently a member, you need to go to Facebook and search for the group Friends of the Coin Show Podcast. You have to ask to join. It is a closed group, but what the great thing about this group is that unlike the rest of Facebook, where the algorithm determines whether or not you see it, everybody sees every post, and that's the whole point of us creating this group.
There are 7.6 thousand of you people in there enjoying yourselves.
So, not all at once, but
not all at once. But yes, if you want to get to a good place to learn about coins where you don't have to worry about people trying to buy stuff or sell stuff, there you go. Friends of the Coin Show Podcast. All right, here we go. Jody Dodson says, a token from here in Arkansas. I love finding any kind of token from my home state. And he shows us a token from Fort Smith, Arkansas that says Finney's on it. Is Finney's let's see if it's the other side here. Finney's is a convenience store, beer and cigarettes.
I thought it was like a knockoff of Denny's, but
the Arkansas Denny's, Finney's.
Bob
Brock, another low mintage barber quarter. That's a that's a great coin right there, simply because that's a grade you just don't see. That grade of VF35 is like one of the hardest grades to get on those. Oh, I'm sorry, that's barber half. My fault.
Yes. And possibly one of the best grades too. Yes. It's got all the detail. It's got everything you want in the barber half without a lot of the price.
Yep. Very, very cool. Malcolm McGaw says, I recently got this 1823 Seed Vacanti half Scudo from the Papal States. The coat of arms on the obverse is caretaker of Cardinal Pacas family, and it depicts a young knight, an old knight, and a skull and crossbones, possibly referencing how time affects even the mighty. Did I mention the skull and crossbones for extra coolness points? That is pretty cool. I
like the fact that it's a Papal States coin and it has skull and crossbones on it.
Well, I think he's exactly right. I think it's like, young knight, old knight, death. Young, old, death. It's just the
it works.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Matt Peacock, 1910 Ty Cobb Tobacco Premium Pen. All right, I like it. Not quite a coin, but it's round. It's close enough. We can get there.
I like it. I can get on board.
You hold it, you squint, it looks like a coin, so I'll give it to you.
Well, this is a transportation token. It's also a token.
Yep. Chester Johnson shows us a Topeka Railway Company token. These are always neat. These railway tokens are actually kind of cool because a lot of them have those letters in them, and I've seen people that actually use them to spell things.
Yes.
Which is pretty interesting. I thought that was cool. James Crandall says, I know it's not the most exciting coin in the world, but I picked up this 1909 Liberty headdress cent, a.k.a. the Indian head cent, now to save my nickels for an 1877. Woo. It's a nice looking little S9S.
Yeah. That's a beauty.
Yeah, I like that coin. Bill Stewart shows us the old Monterey Bicentennial token, 1770 to 1970. And on the back, it says 200th anniversary, and it shows, looks like a conquistador and a cowboy and a Native American and some other fine folks. Very interesting piece. Dave Goodyear, Monday mail call, 1800 seated Liberty half, proof 64 cameo, CAC.
Wow.
Working towards a seeded proof typeset in 64 cameo. 2 down, 2 not so tough ones to go, and then 2 very tough ones to go.
Seated cameo coins, I don't care who you are. If you don't like them, you don't like coins.
That's right. I mean, I have to tend to agree. Let's see if we got a picture of the other side. We do. Look at that eagle. Frosty. Very cool coin. I like that coin a lot. It was a proof 64 cameo CAC. It didn't say which company, but that's all right. Maybe
It
there's a
looks
picture.
like NGC to me.
You're right. You are right, as usual.
Yeah, I don't know.
Slab Daddy says, just a pretty peace dollar. You know, that 1922 peace dollar in MS64 with some kind of oranges and reds and yellows. That's a pretty coin. Peace dollars don't look like that very often.
I think it's interesting to note that PCGS slabbed it with the color side front.
Yeah, you can ask them to do that on some coins. Sometimes it's not an automatic thing. Sometimes you have to ask them, but yeah. Embrotype Visual says a bit of everything going on with this 1865 3-cent nickel. FS 305, 65s over 65.
I love 3-cent nickels, and I love them mostly because of all the clashes and all the clash marks that you find on them.
So that's a recut date. Uber's cut 230 clashing, few die cracks, not to mention odd denom, it's got it all. And you're not wrong. So this is the recut date. It's not a big recut, but you can see it in the 6 there and part of the 5 coming out here. There's some clashing going on with the rotation. Let me see if we got a picture of the other side here. I bet we do. Yeah, so you can see the whole bust here. This is a really big die clash.
Yep.
You can see the back of the head here and coming up and around, and then you can see the bust there. And there's a neat little die crack coming in from the rim here, and another die crack there, and another one there. They're just, that die had been used and used well and was having a heck of a time.
And they just didn't want to change it out. Probably way too new when it happened. So,
or I mean, you know, this is the height of the Civil War, or just, you know, towards the end of the Civil War. Maybe they just didn't have the steel to be throwing at coin dies. They just had to use them until they used them up. So, and if you look on the obverse here on the front, you can see that nice rim cud right along the edge here where that part of the die broke off.
And this plays into exactly what I've always said about errors, that, you know, the more visible they are to the naked eye, the more popular they're going to be.
Yeah. Jack Riley, nice contemporary counterfeit VAM 21, not the micro O. So this is, I think this is from that same family of counterfeits, except they fixed the mint mark. Yeah, it's contemporary counterfeit. Yeah, it is. So this is one of the contemporary ones they made during the time to fool others. These are the best ones I've ever seen. You know, they fooled experts for many years.
For a lot of people.
You know, in my career, they have gone from being genuine VAMs to counterfeits. So I remember that being a thing. So you know, it's definitely something that fooled a lot of people for a long time. I think
because they're so good, they're collected too as well, which gives them value. It's odd.
Yep. Very, very cool piece. Matt Ringer, what a great name, by the way. Longtime listener, especially with a cool sounding name like yours. Yeah, I know, right? Thanks, buddy. The luster was incredible for this AU58. A nice ad for my graded typeset. He shows us a 1915D bar recorder, PCGS AU58. Looks a little nicer to me. There might be a little luster breakout here in the front, but might be a little luster breakout in front of the face, but that would be about it.
You know what, though? That's the 58 you want.
Yep. Most of the time that coin ends up being a 62. Yeah, see, I like this guy. Great name. Carl Carbone says, most recent thing, 1972D half dollar with 2 planchet clips. Yep, that is exactly what that is. Hard to see from the lighting to see the Blakesley effect.
You can see the Blakesley effect more clearly to the right of the
see it a little bit here.
Yeah, to the right of the 2, but you don't see it as pronounced over, but that's what's interrupting in God.
Yeah, I think there's a little disturbance right here on the rim.
Yeah.
Very, very neat. Russell Di Pasquale says, oops, clicked it too quick. Mylingen double struck. That's a cool coin. It's not only is it double struck, I think it may have been clipped as well to give it that weird little little flat spot, or it could be what they call a chain strike, which is when two coins actually meet edge to edge, and then they're struck, and they leave a flat impression like that across the side of the coin. So
I learned today.
yeah, that's called chain strike when because a lot of time, most of the times they'll overlap. You'll have one coin on top of the other one, which will leave like an indent or brockage. That's what causes that. But if they're whack edge to edge and stay edge to edge when they get struck, you see a flat area here, and that's called a chain strike. So
That's cool.
yeah, very cool coin. Stanley Poland says not the most expensive thing, but it's nice. 1826 British shilling featuring King George. Oh yeah. Those are fun. These are fun. These are a really cool coin if you want to get a lot of bang for your buck. They're not. Sorry, they're not expensive. You can get them for $15, $20, $25. But they're old. They're 1826. They're silver. I mean, come on. Sounds like a lot of bang for my buck. Dennis Mendoza coming back with the fire says the only mint state in my New Orleans collection. He shows us an 1848 010 in PCGS MS60.
You're gonna have just one,
but it's CAC.
It's a nice coin.
Yeah, man, I'm jealous.
New Orleans gold is always cool.
Yeah. J.R. Preston says one of my favorite coins, my low end 1922 strong D. Oh my god, my brain. My 1922 no D strong reverse cent. PCGS VF25. Very, very cool.
Nice coin.
Thomas Tucker, $5 gold eagle recovered from ground zero. Yeah, these are interesting. You see some of these. They recovered them from a vault somewhere downtown Manhattan, in one of the World Trade Center vaults. I don't think it was directly under the towers, but I think it was there. So very interesting.
It was at the site.
Yes, it was definitely in the area for sure.
Yeah.
Silver Stacker shows us a silver round. That is very interesting.
Now, if you notice this is a brand new T, the Silver Stacker round.
I don't think this is T. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It has education, acquisition, and entertainment.
Oh, yeah. That might be our buddy.
That's T.
Yeah. You're right. I didn't see the triangle. I like that. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, yeah. You know how I know it's T? Look at the denticles. Those are Libertad denticles. That's how I know it's T.
There you go.
Oh, well, I flip it over. We would have figured it out.
On the side.
Yeah. See, T, the Silver Stacker, one on's a very cool T. Those are awesome. I got to get me one of those.
Yeah.
I was wearing his T-shirt he sent me the other day at the coin store. Jack Young says, my latest coolest thing actually dates back to 2015 when I started down the rabbit hole of counterfeits. This 1798 S152 large cent is one of two known struck fakes. The first discovered by PCGS in a large bad submission back then. This one resurfaced late last year. I purchased it for my research and the Dark Side collection. It is also the subject of my first published article on Coin World. My friend Skip at ICG recently identified it.
So I've
seen this coin in person. This coin is pretty crazy.
Always going to go down as his first, and very, very identifiable because of the notch.
Right. Yeah, this coin's scary. This is a scary one. I've seen this coin in hand. This coin is scary. That's what they can do nowadays. That coin is fake, and it is made recently within the last 10, 15 years.
Oh.
Just think about that for a second. That coin is fake, and it has been made in the last 10 or 15 years. Does not look like it. It fooled people for a long, long time.
They aged that copper really well.
Yes, they're getting good. Yeah. Peyton Bryant shows us a Constitution Gold 5 and MS70 Rattler holder. That's a weird coin. They didn't do too many of those, I suspect. MS70
at that point.
A lot of people say, "Oh, MS70, that's a grade. They just started making it up arbitrarily." Well, I mean, this shows you a rattler that they put a 70 on, so they were doing it back in that period. It's just not something that they do all the time.
That coin has to be just absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, I bet. Mike McClanahan says the latest addition to my herd, a fun date, and my big purchase from the recent A&A show in Atlanta. 14D is a great date. PCGS AU58 is the grade.
Yep.
This is a fun one to look at. Yeah, 14D is such a fun date on these. It's a cool date. You do find them every once in a while, and a lot of them come kind of halfway decent looking. This one's pretty though. This one's got a little bit of color, kind of hiding around the rims,
but still has really nice detail, full horn.
Yep.
You know,
just a little bit of wear on the shoulder there and on the hair here, and that's why that coin is in a 58 holder. Brendan says 17.97 in my giant coin capsule. Brendan, that is a giant coin capsule. Why? I have to ask why. Well, that's true, I reckon. I mean, but this is like, this would hold like, I mean, we're talking like,
almost like it would hold a campaign button.
Yeah, that's crazy. I want to know where you got that. I maybe kind of want some of those for funsies. Joe Bohannon says my latest addition to my 1868 proof set, PCGS Proof 63 halftime, rarer than the 95 Morgan for 1% of the price. Yeah, that's funny. That's a good point. It's a pretty coin too. Joe shows us it's got beautiful color around the rim. The reverse has those oranges and blues and a little bit of blue and the yellow, the orange, pretty coin. And in the front, you see kind of the whole rainbow across the coin. Very nice coin. Thanks for showing us. Brian Bass says, not often you find a 1964 Kennedy in pour one. He shows us an Annex pour one 64 Kennedy. Yep. That is what it is. They are out there. People like to keep coins in their pocket for good luck. And that is one. Stephen Burton. This is a fine style plate coin from the Wolfgang Fischer Bosert's 1999 book on the coinage of Tartanum. Fischer Boset only knew of one other example, and this type, the Moretti 120. And he shows us a very, very nice. Mike, how do you say these? You got him? Calibria Tartanum? AR Nomos, which is a denomination, silver Nomos.
Tartanum.
Yeah. And this coin was struck circa 350 to 345 BC. On the front, we have a warrior dismounting from a horse, holding a spear. And on the back, we have a Tartus astride of a dolphin, holding a spear and a trident. And he is just, look at that. I want to ride a dolphin.
Yeah, that is a very well centered coin. It's really well struck. It's that
we got nudity. We got nudity on this episode.
There's nudity on every Roman coin.
No, this is not nudity, my friend. This is dudity.
Well, it's on both parts, if you notice.
Oh, I did, yeah. Oh,
that's the reverse. I'm talking. There's two of them on the reverse.
We're gonna have to blur this episode. Holy cow! Whew.
Look, it got our channel taken down to point it out too hard to people. So I'd be careful. Tread lightly on that.
I don't know what you're talking about, dudity. Zach says, I finally finished my U.S. Mint Mark set. One coin for Philadelphia, one coin for Denver, San Francisco, New Orleans, Carson City, West Point, Charlotte, Dahlonega, and Manila, Philippines. It was very fun finding interesting coins for the collection. The hardest ones were by far Charlotte and Dahlonega, as they only made pre-Civil War gold coins, and he shows us his set. So he has a Philadelphia 1889 Morgan, a Philadelphia Susan B. Anthony, a Denver Peace Tower, a San Francisco Peso, and New Orleans Morgan Silver Dollar, a Carson City Morgan Silver Dollar, a West Point Eagle, a Charlotte $1 gold piece, a Dahlonega $1 gold piece, and then a Manila, Philippines peso for 1936. Very, very cool coins. I like that he used the peso for the San Francisco Mint. That was interesting.
Yes.
Joshua Wright says Dan Carr Atocha 8 Real silver strike. So they took some silver that was from the Atocha, and I believe Dan Carr struck these. Yeah, so they contain silver from the wreck of the Atocha. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Greg Kemp says, got a W quarterback and change for my coffee this week. Nothing compared to what some of you guys posted, but it made my day. You know what? That's the best part.
I was going to say, I disagree. I think that's probably the best part.
Yeah, I mean, heck yeah, it made your day. That's all that matters.
Go to the other side. What quarter is it?
I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't say.
That's okay. W quarter to W quarter. Good job, David.
It's 19 or 20. Actually,
right.
that one's a 19.
Yeah, because I have the 75 on it.
Be 75 on it.
Yep. Adam Sutton says 23 star, rotated reverse 90 degrees. And yes, it most certainly is. That happens sometimes. There's a little pin that holds the dies in place that keeps them from rotating, and every once in a while that pin will break off, and it'll just allow that die to kind of move around however it wants, and it'll strike coins like that. Or sometimes they put it in sideways or upside down.
I was going to say, it's like if it is exactly in increments of 90 degrees, a square post will explain it.
Yep. Somebody might also just put it in incorrectly.
Yes.
Steve Vesley shows us a 1921 dime and MS64 full band. That's a tough coin.
That's a nut coin too. Look
Those
at
coins almost always come just like AG3. Fair too. So very cool coin. Thanks for sharing, Steve. Dale Hart, 1787 Fugio cent. He shows us a well-worn example, but definitely genuine.
Mind your business.
Yeah. And the cool part about this one, you can see I think that's a big die clash on the right-hand side. You can see the rings on the other side.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was.
I think it's a big die clash in the back.
Fair enough.
Could be. It also could be overstruck. I don't know if they overstruck.
Yeah, well, I was looking to see if I could make out any undertype. That was what I was looking for.
I don't see anything. If I was a betting man, I would bet that's a clash, but you never know. Yeah. You never know. Kevin says New Orleans Reunion United Confederate Veterans Badge, May 1903, found in Walthall, Mississippi. So, yep, these are interesting. After the Civil War, they had these veterans organizations that would get together and, kind of like they were kind of like the American Legion is nowadays, where veterans would get together and remember the old days with their buddies. They would have big encampments and go out for a week or two of hanging out and having fun. So that's what that is. Vance Adkins says let me see. Hold on real quick. Yeah, there we go. You can see the other side of Kevin's there. That must have a Confederate one, as he said. Vance Adkins says 1950 Proof Franklin. Isn't that weird how that coin looks nothing like a proof? But that's those 1950s for you. Yep. 50s are weird. They're a weird coin. You can find those coins.
They hadn't made proof coins in 14 years?
Yeah. I mean, they just totally were like, hey, you know what? Let's just not make them mirrored very much, and let's make them look like pretty much every other coin made that year.
Just make them really well struck.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Just enough. But yeah, that's why 50s in any kind of cameo are redonkulously expensive. They just are for that reason, because most of them look just like this one. Not saying it's not a nice coin; it's a beautiful coin, but that's a very typical 1950 Proof Franklin.
Indeed.
Trace Hagmeyer says, "Snag this beauty for a great price at my local coin shop. Not a crazy date, but my most colorful Morgan dollar in my collection by far. Ooh, that one is pretty.
That looks like envelope toning."
Yeah, and you know what, guys? You guys are always asking about natural toning versus artificial toning. This is what you kind of want to look for on natural toning. You can see where the brighter colors kind of fade into the blues, into the purples, but you have those yellows and greens and a little bit of red over here going, progressing into the darker colors. And that's what you kind of want to see on these. If you get like a red next to a blue, not so much, because there's this yellow kind of spectrum that needs to be in there as well a lot of times for it to be considered natural and for it to be natural. So there you go. Steve shows us a he says, pretty cool 1903 toner. Well, let's take a look. He shows us a 1903 Indian head cent that has some pretty interesting toning. It's got some blues to it there in the middle, which is not an uncommon color for an Indian head cent. It's got some purples and greens on the back. Pretty coin. Thanks for showing it. Leanne says, cool is a tough word for this, so I'll use interesting / historical. She shows an 1846 William Wilbur token, NGC AU55 from Charleston. I think I had one of these on my coolest thing at one point, but she goes on to say,
your token.
Yeah, she goes on to say, my boyfriend and I recently picked up this token at the A&A Association show in Atlanta. It's linked to William W. Wilbur, a controversial figure in pre-Civil War Charleston, South Carolina. Wilbur was an auctioneer, store owner, and an active participant in the city's slave trade. In the 1840s, his business dealt from everything from everyday items to enslaved people, making him a key player in the local economy. This token represents a time when commerce and slavery were closely tied, reminding us of a complex and troubling history of America. Yep. Very, very interesting piece. This is, I think, the only hard times token from. No, that's not right.
Show the other side.
I have it here. Yep. So it's technically a hard times token, but yes, it's definitely he was an auctioneer. He sold everything, including humans back then, because that was okay in Charleston at the time. Charleston was the big hub for slaves in the United States. That was where most of them came in. Yep. And well, I mean, it was one of many ports on that coast, but this was kind of the main port where they brought in the slaves and sold them in the South. And she did a really good job writing that up. That was cool. Erica says, look closely and you'll see two different errors. Mike, what do you see?
Clash.
Yep.
And repunch date.
Maybe. Yeah, it could
it's
be.
Like I was repunched.
Yeah, I see a die crack too coming in from about.
Yeah, there's a die crack. 12 o'clock. There is.
But yeah, that's right here under the neck is a die clash from the line, the 3 on the reverse, and then you have a die crack coming in here from the top, and then you might be right. There might be a pretty big. I think I see a 6 and a 5, so I think it's a recut date. So there's actually 3 there if you're counting. Bill Powers doesn't say anything, but shows us a 1878 20-cent piece in Proof 55. That is a fun coin. That coin has some color. It's in a grade that's affordable.
And it's not the super common date.
It is. It's not the 1878. Yeah. Beautiful. That coin looks pretty. Very, very pretty. Wait a minute. Did the Penny Lady make an appearance on our coolest thing?
My.
Holy macaroni. Charmy Harker, the Penny Lady.
This are honored with the presence of the Penny Lady.
This is one of the coolest airs in my personal collection. It's an 1857 Flying Eagle cent, mated pair, broken planchet after strike. So what she shows us is 2 halves of a coin. And it says, PCGS is saying that this is a broken planchet and it's split after the strike. So the coin was struck normally. There was some sort of problem with the planchet, whether it was not mixed really well or there was some sort of impurity in the planchet.
Something.
Yep. And it caused it to split in half. And it looks like the halves are fairly closely similar in size. But somehow these 2 halves stayed together for all these years and remained together.
They wound up in the same bag. Because
it would have split after strike. So it could have been not directly after strike. It could have been a little time after strike. So,
right. But what I'm saying is that they, whether it's split, directly after strike or long after strike, they ended up together, which is the important part.
Yeah. Very interesting coin. Thanks for sharing. Marcus Davis says, over the last couple of years, I've gotten even to collecting numismatic literature. There you go. Mike's in with that one. Mm-hmm. Having been born in Texas, I took a special interest in the catalogs and ephemera of B. Max Mel. These are some things that I have recently gotten in. I plan to create a collage, have it framed up as a really nice showpiece. And he shows us a Max Mel signed check, one of his price lists from...
You need a Star Coin Encyclopedia. And they're easy to find, too. So,
yeah. Doesn't show us what date this encyclopedia is from, but it's number 59. Mm-hmm. And then it shows he has an order form and a return.
It has a copyright date on the bottom.
Does it? I can't read it. 38, maybe?
Man,
maybe 38.
Being old must really suck.
Yeah, tell me about it. Fuzz shows us, last but not least, we have the Fuzz. He says, as luck would have it, I scored my first 2 Toledo, Ohio Ingle System trade tokens this week. This was located in East Toledo and was a grocery store in 1909. Cheap fun if you like research and local history. Good 4 tokens are for you. I agree with that. I like good 4 tokens because it is a fun way to research and a fun way to research history because you can look at this token and it tells you nothing about what it was for. It just says Ingle System Trade Token. But then it says Moss and Company. So you get to digging into what Moss was, and then you find out, oh, it's a grocery store. And they were in Toledo, and they were in, they closed in 1913, or, and you can get all that figured out. So very interesting. And that, my friend, was your coolest thing. You guys brought it hot and heavy. Man, I'm really.
They love to show off, and we love to give them the format and the forum to do it. And I'm just glad that we can. I learn something new every time I see that segment.
That is why we do this, because I do too. And I learn, and I like to teach, and I can sometimes use that to show you guys things that we might miss, and it's just fun. So there we go.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of learning things, there has been kind of a movement within the coin podcasting community. It's all of us that make content, right? All the content creators. There has been kind of a thing going around where we're trying to reinforce each other a little bit more and give a heads up to you about some of the things that we think are really worthwhile. Frostbite Coins does a really nice job with a really cool show. He is always doing live stuff, always taking on questions, teaching things about stuff. I just wanted to kind of let you got him and Chuck Daughtry and Eric Beyer, and they do this channel that is different from ours, but yet still really cool and really good information.
Yeah.
Livecoin Q&A, I don't know where they went, but the people are still there, and I know that the Facebook group is still alive and well. And I look forward to them doing more videos. I hope they will. There are, you got T the Silver Stacker out there. I mean, there's just a ton of them. So I think what we may end up doing is maybe putting together a kind of like an Angie's List.
Ooh.
The home of Angie's List was Indianapolis.
That is true. Yeah, we could do that. I mean, who are we to say who's who? But I mean, we could definitely put together a list of the guys we like.
We let people. Well, I mean, yeah. The thing is, you got to keep a lid on it, otherwise you get sued. You can't just let people say whatever they want. But my thought was we would vet them through our committee.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a terrible idea. I mean,
I know that there's plenty of people out there that would be willing to make something like that work. So.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be good, and we could even showcase them on the show. We could have them on and talk to them, and I mean, heck, why not? It's all about spreading the joy of coin collecting, and also the information that's out there that's good. That is not just, hey, you can find this in your change and be rich. That's not what we want.
Yeah,
no thanks.
It's like if we could just drown that out, I think we'll have done the Lord's work. I really do.
I think so. Well, friend, that's all I got. You got anything else?
You know what? I do have. Come and see us in Baltimore. We will make it worth your while. Come and see us in Baltimore. We'll have
some goodies. I might have some goodies.
You may have some goodies. It's like, if not, we'll make some goodies. We got to figure something out because we haven't done anything in a while anyway. So
that's true.
Good point. We got some coin show magnets and stuff like that, I'm sure.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So I want to thank all the people behind the scenes that help make this show possible. To everybody from Fuzzy, our police friend, to Justin, to Ernesto and Russ, and all the people behind the scenes, Leanna, and everybody who helps make our show something that you guys like to watch. Thank you to Matt, and thank you just to everybody who's here, and thanks to the chat. But thank you to you who've listened, without whom this entire endeavor is pointless. Do it for you.
I was just going to say, be prepared for a content bomb coming up next week when we're in Baltimore. There's going to be tons of stuff coming out, videos, lives, hopefully, and all sorts of short.
To chop up our news and spread it that way, and And look, we're always looking for programming suggestions, something that you guys want to see. Drop me a line. Mike at CoinShowRadio.com. I actually read my mail. Sure.
Shut up.
See, I didn't say anything. You threw yourself under that bus.
Inflection in your voice, okay? I can read these things.
So thanks for everybody, and thank you to the Loopholes people for making the show tonight and making Matt laugh. We will see you in Baltimore, and we will see you on the next episode, which will be 245 of the Coin Show podcast. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Good night.
I know it ends, but it ends well. Let's all get together. We'll sing louder than we've ever. 'Cause this isn't forever, but forever ain't tonight. 'Cause we got tomorrow, no matter how hard you try. This isn't forever. While we're singing our song, we forget that it's ending. It's that its purpose, it's the worthiest thing we do. 'Cause this is it. And forever, but forever ain't tonight. We've got tomorrow, 'cause this isn't forever, but forever ain't tonight. We've got tomorrow, this isn't forever. This isn't the end. Until next time. Until next time. Until next time. This isn't the end.